Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're going to do another auction, so I'm going to insert the footage here and let you guys see what we're selling this week, and then I'm going to talk about not what I bought, but something else. So it's kind of a twofer video. If you're new to the channel, I'm Andrew. I'm a vintage reseller and collector, and I specialize in mid-century decor. As you can see behind me, I'm walking around my living room and dining room. I work for an auction house, so we do a weekly auction every Monday, and I'm going to show you about that. But before we get to that, if you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button and comment, even just to say hi, and like the video. So I'm going to insert the footage here, and then we're going to do a little talking about what else I'm going to show you. So here we go. Hey guys, we're back out here at the auction again, and excuse all the background noise. They closed part of the road and everybody is driving through the parking lot, as you can see behind me. So we're gonna look out here on the porch, see what's available, and then we're gonna go inside and take a look. So lots of chairs. Now you know what I'm drawn to. The ceramic Christmas trees. I really like that one with the snow on it. We might try for that one. But lots of little tidbits of stuff. Some little beetles. Some tools. Bikes. Lots of stuff. Golf clubs, floor mats, you name it, we got it. A log splitter, an old wood stove there. So let's go inside and check out what we got in there. So here's what we have for furniture. Got a little enamel top table, smoking stand, this old cool doctor scale, I'm not getting on it, a gun safe, some tables, sofas, lots of chairs, some really nice benches. I feel like we had one of those next door. I can't remember for sure. Yes, we did, now that I think about it. Some nice outdoor furniture. Then we got an old safe, a wood stove, and some primitive utensils. So we're going to go over here to the box lot room and see what we have this week. We have stuff in the skating rink that's going to be part of, there's trains and some other things. And we're going to do it over there, and then let's see what's in here. Just miscellaneous, a lot of plastics. Packing peanuts, lights, a lot of lights. A lot of lights. Some DVDs. What else do we have here? We're gonna walk over along this wall here and see what we got. Toys on toys. Games. Some Halloween decorations. What else do we have? A wreath holder. I just picked one of those up the other day. Some box lots of wreaths and knickknacks. That's kind of older. What else is in here? Some more holiday decor. Looks like newer stuff. Alright, let's go in here and see. So we got lots of stuff up here. We got some garland and some snowmen for outside. Jim Beam train. A lot of train stuff. Actually, I'll go over here. Christmas.
Trains and more trains.
Yep. I like this slide. Those are pretty cool. There's more trains over here. Lots of trains and houses, and then we have all the Boyds. Oh boy, lots of Boyds. As you can see, they're full. And what's over here? A bit on those. Alright, well, stay tuned to see what I got. Alright, guys. I bought very, very, very little. And it was a very interesting auction because it had a lot of trains. As you can see, some holiday decor, Boys Bears. I wanted one of the trays of Halloween. I did not buy it. That was the whole thing. We're not going to rehash that. Nothing bad, but we're just not going to talk about it. I did buy some useful things. So some of the train stuff, and then this is where you have to pay attention at an auction sometimes and look beyond what they're actually selling. So some of the train stuff, such as some of the track, which is not a big seller, and a couple like building type things, they were in some really nice totes. So we're going to spin it around here. Now, these three totes have another estate that I picked up yesterday. So we're going to talk about that in another video. But I paid $3 for these three totes. I'm going to say this. If you're at an auction and you use totes for storage, for transporting, whatever, they're selling stuff that is not selling, try buying the totes, because that's what I did. So those totes probably would run, you know, say $30 for the three of them new. So I got them for 90% off. Good tip there. I did buy the box of doilies for $12. They're downstairs being washed right now. But that was about it. So I do want to talk about an online auction. I don't typically do online auctions. Some of the online auction companies charge buyer's, well, let me say all the online auction companies charge buyer's premiums. A buyer's premium, for those of you that are new to the auction world or not familiar with it, is the auction company charges the buyer a premium to buy things. The auction house I work for, we charge a seller commission depending on if the items are brought into the auction house or we go and pick them up. There's a 10% savings there. Typically an auction house will charge about a 40% commission to go pick up the items, pack them up, bring them to the auction house, unpack them, and sell them. If you bring the stuff in, usually it's about 30%. So some auctioneers will get around charging that percentage to the client and discount it by 10%. And then in return, to make up the difference, which typically benefits the auction house, they will charge a buyer's premium. So, for instance, this particular auction was a 15% buyer's premium, which is, I'm going to say this, and it might shock some of you, is on the lower end of what a normal auction house charges. There is one in this area, which I will not mention. Their buyer's premium, regardless, is 24%. And if you use a credit card, they add another 3%. So you're paying 27% to purchase an item. So what that means is, for this 15%, if I bought an item that was $100, the auction company would charge me $115. So they're getting $15 from me. If they did so if I pay the $15 on my end, they might charge the buyer 30%. So they're getting a total of $45 for selling an item for $100. If a normal auction house that doesn't charge a buyer's premium, if they brought it in, they might get $40. If you brought it in, they might get $30. So it always seems to benefit the auction house. With that being said, I really am hesitant to buy things on online auctions, especially you get a lot of people who don't want to attend auctions in person or are able to attend auctions in person, so they tend to pay a little bit more for things. So, for instance, this online auction, when I started watching things, I had bid on a total of, I want to say 10 things. All said and done, I got 2 lots. We're going to talk about the one lot here because it's pretty fantastic, and I think it definitely was a sleeper. Sometimes you can't get what I would call a sleeper of a deal for an online auction. You have to kind of look beyond what you're seeing, look at the pictures, look thoroughly at the pictures. So the lot that I'm going to show you, I purchased a antique button collection. And the auction description said 2 boxes of buttons. When I looked at the pictures, I saw 3 boxes of buttons, plus some miscellaneous items. There was only a couple pictures of cards, and I thought, okay, so I'm going to turn it around here. Well, actually, I'm going to show you this. This is part of it. So there's this box full of stuff here. These little beat it pins. There's lots of like loose buttons and bags here. These boxes are all full of cards, and I counted, there's approximately 85 cards and various amounts of buttons. So this is an example of a card. Some cards have, 40 buttons on it, some have 10. But look at these buttons. I mean, I just picked random ones. It wasn't like these are the top 20 best or anything. I just picked random ones. So we have like that one, and then we have some of these. This one's really pretty. It's really not picking up. It's like a heart with a bluish black tint to it. There's an eagle button down there. And I unpacked some of the buttons. I just, like I said, picked random cards just so I could show you guys. This little display case. There's all these. So the big question is, total with the buyer's premium, I had $96 into this. So roughly about $1 a card. I was kind of trying to figure out the best way to sell these, because to research each individual button would take me years. There was a little notebook included where it looks like she started to kind of discuss what the buttons were, age-wise, and it didn't look like she got very far. These are really pretty. These are check glass buttons. Very nice. Here's a nice one with a lot of Victorian buttons. Like I said, I just picked random cards. There's a little bee up there. Let's see, what's this one here? Sorry for the glare on this one. It's upside down. Look at this lady here. She's like this three-dimensional. Some really pretty ones. Oh, that's going to slide. I like these pearl buttons here. I think this is supposed to be like a tree. I have it upside down here. Here we go. These are really pretty. These are teeny tiny little glass buttons, which are really, really pretty. So, the big question is, how am I going to sell these? Of course, I have to show you these enamel ones. So, I'm thinking the way to sell these would be by the card, of course, because they're already on a card. They're already separated. I'm going to spin you around. And I think I'm going to try doing maybe 10 cards at first, doing a 7-day auction, and maybe starting them at, I don't know, like $10, $15 a card and seeing where it goes. Because some buttons I've seen online, some of the glass ones, can go for hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So I figured they're already put together, they're easy to ship, I can keep them numbered as they are and just kind of run with it and see. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to try it out, see how it goes. Maybe try 10 or 20, because they're probably going to be easy to list if I do antique button card lot number 1, you know, and so on and so on. I should be able to list them pretty easy. So I think that's what I'm going to try. I think there's some money to be made there, and that's why I kind of took the chance. My gut was telling me run with it, so that's what I did. So I'm gonna start working on them today. It's a beautiful day outside. I should get this other lot out and do a video on that. There's a lot of art glass in there. A buddy of mine who's a realtor, he calls me up periodically when he does property listings, and he has either somebody moving into an assisted living or a death or whatever. He has his list of people he calls, and he called me in yesterday, and I spent about $350 on the 3 totes full of things, and there's some pretty fantastic glass in there. So I was very happy with that. At first I was like, am I spending too much? But I think I'm going to do pretty well with it. So now that I'm in the bright kitchen with the sun coming through, I'm going to end the video here. So if you like the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, even if it's just to say hi. Actually, anybody watching the video that leaves a comment, leave a comment of where you're from. You can put town, city, country, whatever, state, doesn't make a difference. Leave a comment down below. I just would like to know who the viewers are and where they're watching from. So, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.